Hi, I'm George,
I'm Sherry.
and we are GS Adventures. If you have made it this far, or if you've watched the other videos, what we do is we give our final thoughts of the cruise. Now, we are almost in August, and we're finally doing our final thoughts. The cruise was in May. So you've already seen the last video.
Wow, dude, 3 months.
I know. We're slacking, so we're gonna have to. I have notes to make sure that we don't do things like that. So this was the cruise that we did in Seattle, which you guys just finished watching if you watched the whole series. It was our trip to Alaska on the Quantum of the Sea. So we're going to talk about is basically we're going to talk about the ship itself. We're going to talk about the food experiences, the entertainment. We're going to talk about our excursions, and anything else that we might pop in, and things you do on sea days as well. So if you've been watching, you know that last couple of ships have been on the smaller side, so we decided to go a little up in the Quantum Sea class. So this is what we did. So let's talk about travel day, day one. So we left here. We took a flight to. Did we actually go? We did not direct flight. We flew out of BWI. We got to. I don't even remember where we went to. Yeah, so that's what's happening. Everything was good. So we got to Seattle. We got there. Seattle Airport, if you have never been there, it's a little bit interesting. We got there about 2:30. We're a little delayed, of course. But when we got there, there's really not many directions to show you where to go get your luggage and so forth and so on. Fortunately, I did some research ahead of time. But you go down this, what I call a dungeonous basement. Because it was so quiet. At 2:30 in the afternoon, it was so quiet and dark. We got our luggage. We didn't have any problem with that. But getting from the airport to the hotel, that was a little bit of an adventure. So we heard that you could take the like a monorail train. They'll get you close enough. But then where we stayed at, which we'll talk about in a minute, was we still had to get Uber either way. And so we decided just to do just the Uber right from the airport. The cost, I don't remember, was about $50 or $60 each way for both of us. So I mean that was a little bit high. It was a direct, but the problem is that you have to go across this from the airport. You go across this bridge in the terminal, then you have to go down the steps to go back up the steps to get to where you have to go.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
So that was interesting. And then there's a bigger area of parking, and so it doesn't tell you. It just says your pickup cars are here, all your Lyft rides are here, but it doesn't tell you what section. So, and your Uber driver doesn't know. He parked, and actually we were a minute late getting there, and I got charged extra. I don't know what it was, whatever it was, because we were a minute late from our time. That's because we had to look for it, and it wasn't for me just saying, let me go check the other side, and there it was over there. So we get to, so he gets us there, no problem at all. Everything else is great. He was a great driver, no problem there. So anyway, we get to the airport. We get to our hotel. We stayed at the Hyatt Hotel. It's in the city, in Seattle. We still had to take an Uber to get to our terminal because Pier 71, I think what it was, is the terminal for like Norwegian. Where we had to go was a little bit farther away. But we walked around, as you saw in the videos. I guess the hotel itself was nice.
I like the hotel, yeah.
It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, they have coffee, the free breakfast, all that kind of stuff. So nothing bad about that.
Yeah.
So what we didn't do, we didn't take an Uber from there. They had a shuttle that would come by.
Right.
So the shuttle was a little late. It wasn't on time, but we set up early enough so we get there. So when you get to the actual port, which was probably about a 20-minute ride, I would say. The reason, to get backtrack a little bit for the ride, the reason it's a little more expensive, personally, I think the next time we do it, we're going to take a taxi. If we ever go back there again, a taxi, because Uber, what they've done is in Seattle, they have charged extra to Uber and Lyft because you're really taking away from their business of the city with the taxis. So they're going to be a little bit higher for that. So I probably would recommend a taxi. Don't worry about it. It's going to come back on again. So anyway, everything was good there. We got unpacked. Oh, there's a few things I wanted to do. We ended up going to the Needle. It's Needle in May. It was a cost about $90. It was a little over $90 to go up to Needle, but it was fun. It was exciting. It was like, once in a lifetime thing. Once in the things you do once. I'm trying to go for this. Sherry being afraid of heights and all, it did help. She conquered her fear. Talk about it.
I wouldn't say I conquered it, but there's a certain part of the Needle, if you don't know about it, it's glass. So you can see all the way down to the ground, around you. So I tiptoed on it a couple of times and tiptoed right back off, but I finally got on it. I looked down, but not for very long. So I can't say I conquered my fear, but I did get back on. I did get on it.
Used to be a restaurant.
Yes.
But they turned it into be, I don't know why, whatever happened. I don't remember the story behind it.
Well, they were saying back then, like a lot of famous people would go up there for these really fancy dinners and,
Because the Needle does spin. Very slowly, but it does spin.
But, as time goes on, things change.
Yeah, it just wore out. So there is like a little bar up there where you can get drinks. And there's a little, some like maybe munchy food. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's certain places that, but other than that, it was a good experience. And then from there, we went to a restaurant down off the pier, and then that was pretty much it about that. Embarkation day. Got up. We took their shuttle to there. I think it was $20 for both of us together. All that. It probably might have been a little bit more if we taken an Uber. I'm not sure. I didn't bother. I heard they had a shuttle, so we just decided to do that. So it was definitely a smooth check-in, right? But it was weird though because there was several check-in points. So I understand it's the one you check in when you do security to get that. Then there was another checkpoint, and then which led you on to the oh my goodness, I forgot the rail that takes you into the ship. Then there's another checkpoint. I'm thinking, where are you going to go? You're already on the lead to get up there. Something. So that was interesting and weird. I don't know if that was just something they were doing or not. So. Again, we took a tour of the ship, as you all saw the different things. We ate at some places. So again, embarkation day was very smooth. We go in. So one of the things I suggest is that you get your. Thanks, babe. You get your mustard drill done right away. Take care of it.
Yes.
Do that. Get it out of the way. That's one less thing you have to worry about. Everything else is done on your phone. You watch it. You sign in. You're done. That's our wind chime if you hear over there. So, it was great. So we got on there. We had lunch at 270. It's a different place to eat at. You don't have to go to the Windjammer, which was probably was packed because everybody was getting one. So we went to the Cafe 270. They get good food over there, and it was not even crowded at all.
Right.
So don't always have to pick the Windjammer to go eat on embarkation day. If your ship has other places to go to eat at, try it. They always have a solarium, which I think is always open too, which is like a mini. Even with smaller ships, it's like a mini food where the Windjammer is, and it's usually not as crowded over there. So if you mind crowds, don't go there. So let's see what else. So what did you think of the food at 270?
Oh, I liked it. They had like wraps, like chicken Caesar wraps. They had soup. I'm trying to think. They had salad, different kinds of salads, and so it was different. So I liked that. Because at the Windjammer, they got the same thing all the time. So it was something different, something nice to eat. And I thought it was good. I mean, we went back another time and ate there.
Yeah. So then we're talking about the Windjammer. I mean, we're talking about 270. Let's talk about the food on the ship. So overall, what did you think of the Windjammer food?
I didn't think it was bad. I mean, it's
typical buffet kind of food.
Typical buffet.
They
did have more of the international foods on this ship, so I did like that. Breakfast is breakfast, so.
Yeah, I think the reason why there's more international food is because of the bigger ship. Since we're used to the smaller ships, it does become it's really small, so you're not going to get all that stuff that you're thinking about.
Right.
So all the international food, so buffet. So that's the reason why. So the Windjammer was typical food. What did you think about the MDR food? Eating at the MDR main dining room.
It was good.
Again, typical MDR food.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
We also ate at Azumi's.
Zoomies. Of course, I love Zoomies.
It's a specialty restaurant, so you pay a little bit more. I suggest me personally, use, if you they give you dessert, you don't have to have dessert. So it would be cheaper to buy this stuff a la carte. So don't go ahead and get the package and buy that. You'll spend less money. I think we're full, and you saw my videos. I'm a big boy. We ate.
Can see you now that you're a big boy.
Yeah, but not as big. You don't see the whole body. But you can. We paid half. We would if we got combined, and we were full without dessert.
Yes.
If we want dessert, we'll go get some ice cream or go to the Windjammer or somewhere else to go get food there. So I think pretty much that was it for the food stuff, right? Yeah. Much we can give you.
Yeah.
There's nothing special, nothing to talk about.
The one restaurant we went to, it was okay. The Italian restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went to I think it was Jamie's Italian.
Yeah.
We had lunch. It was okay.
It
Nothing
was
great.
Okay. It wasn't. It was a one-time thing. I wouldn't go there again.
Yeah, we did lunch. We did lunch for there too. Yeah, so yeah, it was okay. Nothing great. By the way, what I forgot to mention is that Royal Caribbean's is on Pier 91. That's where their pier is. I had to look at my notes, but that's where it was. So we obviously gave you the room tour, what it was about. So we had a balcony and two things. So let's go backtrack on the food. I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say about that. I had it and I switched. All right, I'll come back to it. That's how I am. It's my unofficial ADD. But the room tour, we had a balcony. If you go there, get a balcony. You don't have to, but it's great to wake up in the morning. As one morning we woke up and we had room service. Forgot about that.
We did.
Free if you get the continental stuff, so which is bagels and drinks and all that. Which if you watched that, you saw that when we were at the glacier. So it's nice waking up and putting your order ahead of time, and then getting up and going out and seeing the glacier and not have to leave. But if you can't afford a balcony and you have to get an inside room or ocean, you can obviously go out and up there and see all that. But it's nice to have the comfort of the home. So if you do that, that would be the time to do it.
And if you get room service and you want it at 7:30, make it for 8:30 because they'll bring it. We had it for 8:30?
No, I think we had for like 7. I got up and it was there by 6:15.
Yeah, it was almost an hour earlier. I wasn't even up yet.
Yeah,
they knocked on the door. So you definitely will get your food earlier than what your time is.
Yes, keep that in mind. You definitely will forget your food. All right, so let's see. We've talked about the ship overall. It's weird because it was going to go in a dry dock. It seemed like every ship we get on, it goes in a dry dock right after that. Yeah. So that was going to dry dock. So the picture that you'll see, if you saw the beginning of this, the picture of it was all its scrapes on the outside. So it definitely needed a good paint job and all that. But overall, the ship was good. We enjoyed the ship. We'd do it again. The needle, not the needle, what do they call that? The arm, the needle, whatever it is, the space that you get up in there, that's broken. I think they're actually getting away with that. I think they're removing them.
Oh, that was the thing that would rotate?
No, that's the thing that lifts you up the arm. That lifts you all the way up to the top.
It didn't rotate?
No, it didn't rotate. Just lifts you up to the top.
Gotcha.
But it wasn't working, and it hasn't worked. So I heard a rumor that they were going to be getting rid of those. So that may not be there. If you saw the video, that may not be there when it goes on. So let's see. Room's good. Everything. We talked about the room. We talked about the food. We talked about the ship. Entertainment was great.
It was good. Yeah.
There was a couple shows but overall, we enjoyed the entertainment. Everything was great. The comedian was good. So that was good. We'll talk about the drink package and things like that later on. So let's talk about our excursions. All right. The first one we went to was Icy Strait Point. If that is on your list, if you're going to Icy Strait Point as part of your reports, that's the best time to see the whales. I've heard that before from other vloggers who say that. So we booked it. Now we didn't go through the one that everybody was recommending. They were full, but she had recommended someone else. Seth, I think his name was Seth. He was great. Vivid Endeavors. Vivid Endeavors was the name of his organization. He's a good guy, great, very interacting. We were just us and another couple, so he only holds 7 on his ship, his boat. So either him or the other place, they don't carry much. I think hers holds 12, 15 max. So when you know you're going, that should be one of the first things that you book if they're open, because they will sell out pretty quickly.
Yes.
So keep in mind, he and Seth was just starting. This was his first year doing it, but he was Kim recommended from the. I wish I knew the other ladies, the organization that everybody recommends, but she recommended him, and he did a great job, I thought. So,
yeah.
So we saw the whales. A couple of times we had a whale that was really next to us. One of the things we found out is that every time the whale gets within 100 feet, they have to report it. So they're not supposed to get closer than that. That's part of the rule. That's the golden rule that you shouldn't do. But if the whale comes up to you, then you still have to report it, but it's one of them. And the whale, I was looking over on one side, and the whale came up on the other, right next to us. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get the video camera around fast enough, or pictures taken fast enough. So you saw a couple tails. That's where the end of it. That was where he went by us and all that. But anyway, I really enjoyed that excursion.
Yes.
You want anything to add to that?
Nope. It was cold.
It was a little bit rainy too.
And it was raining, so we did get a little wet, but we would go inside. He actually had a heater in his and he has a bathroom in there.
And he gets snacks and water. They're all free. That's all part of it free.
All of it free.
Nothing major, just chips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And bottled water.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so before we get to the excursion, well, I'll tell you what, let's do the excursions. We'll do that one first. We ate at the Duck Point Smokehouse. I'll make sure I wrote that down. It was 2 restaurants they have over there. That was one of them. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, Alaska's expensive. No matter what you do, where you go, it's expensive.
Yes.
So keep that in mind if you get out. It's not cheap, because a lot of stuff has to be imported in, I guess, whatever. We did our music trivia. We did all that kind of stuff there. So that's Icy Strait Point. The next was Skagway. You know what we did in Skagway?
We did dog sledding.
There you go. You can talk about that. Go ahead.
So the dog sledding, I highly recommend it. Yes, it is very expensive, but I looked at it that it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing to do, because that's not something I would spend money on, especially that. I think it was what, $500.
No, okay. So let me get back a little bit pricing. So Vivid Endeavors, that was a little over $500 for that, or close to $500. The dog sledding was a little over $400.
Okay, so normally I won't spend that kind of money for an excursion, but I knew I would never do that again. Like I said, I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. You got to play with the puppies.
Even in the rain.
Even in the rain, yeah. So in Alaska, it rains 300 days out of the year. That doesn't mean it rains all day long, but it does rain a lot there. So we were in the rain a lot, but you're on vacation.
We had a great time. I know, you know what?
We did.
At home, you hate it when it rains. You want to stay in the house. You don't know, but we enjoyed it, because even when we got back, right? So after we did we went to the camp, and I showed some of the history. They go over the history of it all, and I showed some of it. I don't know, I probably keep more in than I probably should. But so some of you probably, matter of fact, I don't have many views on that one. It was really weird. I don't know whether because I put it out a different day, but I don't have many views on that one. I have a lot of views on the other days, but not that one. It's got a picture of the dogs on there, so I don't know.
Right.
But it was well worth it, even the rain. And then after that, we got to hold them and all that, and there's a lot of facts about them. They love, like huskies, they love temperatures. Their ideal temperature is 0 to -20. And I'm not sure if you heard that in the video or not, but that's amazing. So that's really cold. So, but a lot of good stuff talking about that. So we're done. They drove us back, because there's multiple. We take one there, and then we have to go up this with another. We got on another kind of it was actually an old, not a tank, but something in the army related, something military that got us up to the top of the mountain where we had to go for this camp.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It's the only way they can get up there.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool for that. So then we got back to Skagway, downtown Skagway. We ate at the famous Red Onion Saloon, and we had the reindeer fart. So that was just to have it, say we had it. I'm not sure if I would ever eat there again. I'd probably try some other places. But when you go the first time, you try all the places everybody says to go to.
Right.
But the only thing we got there, is that the one that we just got the, no, that was at Juneau. That's the next one. So we actually ate some, we shared a table with another couple and had pizza.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
And there's not a whole lot to do. It's a small little town, so.
Oh, there's shopping.
But I mean, there is shopping to do. So if you're expecting like a lot of places to go, there really wasn't a whole lot of places to go shopping.
Yeah.
At.
The good thing about it is where you're where you're docked, you can actually walk into town.
Yes.
So even if you don't want to do excursions, you just want to walk around for a while, you can go do that. And there's plenty of things in there. We didn't explore it all because we were getting there a little bit later in the day. So, but it was worth it. And then obviously we got back and you saw the stuff, the entertainment in the evening. George Solomon was he did all the Frankie Avalon stuff and that. So that's what we did for that. Actually, I cut it off, but he had called me out. I had to sing a little part of it, which I did not have on the video. Remember when he called me out? Because we both had the same name. As a matter of fact, I was the only little George in there.
Yeah.
So he made a little point. That was pretty cool. Because who thinks about getting called out like that? So anyway, so that was Skagway. So overall, so your Icy Strait Point, 0 being terrible, 10 being the best. What would you give it for the whale watching?
Oh, I would give it a 10.
Okay, to
come back to that. So we were.
Which one now?
Whale watching.
Okay.
So our ship got in
I did forget
late.
to say that. Yes.
So we didn't think that we thought we were going to miss our excursion. He actually waited for us to get there. He was told ahead of time.
An hour late, mind you. An hour late.
Yeah, we were an hour late. We were told that the ship got in a little late, but we didn't know that. So we went running to try, hopefully.
Which I think I caught some of that. I think some of that was in the video.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see it, because there's not many views on that one, if you didn't see it, that's what happened. We were running. So
yeah, so
I wonder if it would change because the other couple was on our cruise ship too.
Yeah, I don't know.
So would he change if it was somebody local? I don't know. But for this time, he did it. So that was awesome. That was awesome in itself.
Yes.
If I remember, I'll put his link down there. Vivid Endeavors. So all right. The dog sledding, 0 to 10.
20.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be there. I would. Okay, sorry about that. The GoPro overheated and it went. It says, and I thought maybe it was the battery, but it's not. It says, we turned you off for a reason. It's overheated. So we're back. It didn't take long. I put it by the air conditioner and it worked. It undid it. So I'm not sure where we ended, but we're going to start with after Juneau we did. After Skagway we did Juneau, but before we went to Juneau is when we did the glacier. Let me make sure I get the right name because I don't want to mess this name up. It's called. I got so much papers here, so I remember. That's what happens when you wait 3 months later to do anything because you just forget everything that you talked about. So little notes that help you out. I'm not even sure where my notes are. I must have missed some stuff on these things. Anyway, sorry, my DD. Endicott Arms and Dolls Glacier. And what do you think of it? After breakfast, went out there. What'd you think of the actual glacier?
The glaciers was nice. I think I was expecting something different, like actual tall glaciers, but it was nothing like that.
Not at all.
Not at all. There was like big chunks of the glaciers floating down in the water and all.
And the captain had to keep stopping, and then so once you get to a certain point, they do a 180. They flip you around so that whatever side you're on, you can see both sides. It took him a while to do that because all the ice in there, and I guess he didn't want to have another Titanic moment. So he stopped. I don't know if he reversed it. It seemed like it almost I don't even know what, but it took a while to turn around. But it wasn't. I don't know. I guess my mind, I was like Sherry was expecting more, and it wasn't. So
trees,
mountains, hills, whatever, mountains of stuff. So 0 to 10.
I give it a 6.
That's better than me. I'm giving 5, 50-50.
Well, there you go.
So then we went to Juneau. So we got in there about 1 o'clock. Our excursion was a little later, so I said, uh-oh, what are we going to do? So we decided to walk around, which you saw. We ended up eating, that was at the Reg Dog Saloon, and we ended up getting a duck fart there. It's a little different taste, and I can't remember which one we liked better.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I want to say that the first one, the reindeer fart, was better. I could be wrong.
We do a lot of farts there for
whatever reason.
Yeah,
I think it's part of it. But anyway, so that's where we got some nachos, which were really good.
They were really good.
Filling, believe it or not. That's all we could get. And then we went on our excursion. Note on this. When you go to there, everyone needs, because at least it was in May, everyone needs either your ID card, whether it's your license or whether you need to get your passport. Because even though they would not let us back on the ship without it. What they would do is they would actually, what they said, because I said, oh, I got to get back on the cruise ship. I had my license with me, some reason why I had it with me, but she waited for me. I had to go back and drop some stuff off at the room. That's what it was. And so I'm like, what are we gonna do? So what he said was, if she didn't have it, they would actually escort her back to the ship, which is weird because you go through this gate. Anyway, so without doing that, make sure you have your license or your passport, and not a copy of it, your original passport or your license. That way you can get back on the ship. At least that's what happened in May.
Right.
All right, I don't know if it changes when you go then, but that's that. So that's just something in Juneau. So we get to Juneau, we go shopping, we eat there, then we take our excursion. Our excursion was what? You're doing so well.
I was doing so well. Our excursion, we hiked. We went
Mendenhall
to the
Glacier.
Glaciers, right.
And the salmon bake.
Yes.
All right. Mendenhall Glacier. Now that's different than the Nugget, right? The waterfall. So what did you think of the glacier?
So I did like that. It gave, you got closer to, you were able to walk closer to the glacier and get a better perspective of it. I mean, no, it still wasn't what I expected, but
it's still several hundred yards away.
Right.
So the waterfall, though,
was amazing. Somebody had to play in it.
I had to go touch it. So that was nice. That was huge. That was great. So I was talking to this lady who was there. She was there 10 years ago with her husband, and they said that the glacier was a lot bigger then, and the waterfall was as much. So it just means it's melting. So I'm not sure that excursion is going to go very long, because there's not going to be no glacier. So that'll probably be an excursion. If you can do it, you might want to do it. I know it's a typical thing, but if you really want to see it, unless you do the helicopter ride, which we saw them doing it, and they took them right on top of the glacier, and they get out of the picture, but I'm assuming they landed because they stayed there for a while and then they took off again. So
right.
So that was that. So we did that, and then after that they took us. This was probably the cheapest one. This was probably like $70 a person, roughly, in May of 2024. So it's a person. So that, and then we went to a salmon bake.
That was really good.
They had corn chowder or something like that with salmon in it.
Yeah, everything had salmon in it.
Yeah, it was really good. That was the salmon bake was good, and they put this honey glazed on it. Amazing. So we've
honey and cinnamon.
She made that here, and I said that's why we're eating salmon from now on. It's really, really that good. So, where would you rank that excursion, 0 to 10?
I would probably give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the same thing too. I probably wouldn't do it again.
No,
because it's one thing. Yeah.
Once you do it, you do it. Right?
Yeah, I'll probably do some other things. Anyway, so and Juneau, if you don't want to do any excursions, you can right off the ship, and there's all the shops and there's
right.
Different restaurants. We just did all the touristy things, so next time we probably try different restaurants out. So that was it. Then the last excursion was in Victoria, British Columbia, in Canada. Bad thing about it is you're only there for 5 hours. So actually, on that Friday we had sun. The sun was out, and we actually got sunburned. We stayed by the poolside on that day before we got there, and we didn't bring any suntan lotion because who thought we were going to get some sun out there? And we'll go back to the ship. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to stop here when I'm thinking about the ship. The Quantum of the Seas has an outdoor pool, which is, I'm not sure why. I don't think I saw it, maybe except for the day that we were there.
Right.
I don't think anybody was in it. But they also have an indoor pool. which was a lot. It was filled. And then they have a solarium where it's only adults only, which is technically 16 above. So you have a couple places if you want. They have hot tubs everywhere.
Right.
We never even did a hot tub. We were going to. We never did.
We never got around to
Never
it.
got around to it. So, anyway, so that I forgot to say that about the ship itself. And if you have any other questions about it, just give us a holler. Just leave a comment, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about.
It won't take him 3 months.
No, I'll get back to you. I'm pretty quick about the announcement. I usually get you back within 24 hours. You'll have an answer one way or the other. Okay, so what we did there when we got there, there was only a few excursions that we could choose from, and so we decided not to do any, and we decided we're just going to walk. So we got off. It's a little bit of a walk. There's shops everywhere. It's but it was fun. It was a walk. We had a few hours to blow, so we did. We went and found a Tim Horton. We've had it one all the time in when we were in Canada, and so it's really good coffee. So we found that. Took a little while to get there, but we found it, and then we really much just did sightseeing.
That was it.
Yeah, and
walked on the docks a little bit.
Yeah, that was pretty much about it. So that was that. Excursion for that, for not doing anything, just doing ourselves. 0 to 10.
6.
I don't know. I'd give it an 8. I enjoyed myself. We had Tim Hortons coffee. That should already bump it up to higher number. So.
Yeah, so if you've never had Tim Hortons coffee, it's a big thing in Canada, and you have to get a double.
Double.
They'll know exactly what it is. So.
I do know something though. I used my credit card, and so whatever their price was, my credit card took that price, but when I saw my receipt at the credit card, it was less money. I did pay an international fee for the card, but it still added up less to what we paid there. So, credit card there would probably be better for you. At least it was a Chase credit card, Southwest credit card. So it was definitely worth it. I paid less, I guess, in a sense. So cash, they'll take it, but I don't know how that ratio works. If they give you exact money back, they'll take American money. But anyway,
right.
So. And that was it. So I know the last clip, if you watched it, had day 6 and day 8. I just didn't know how to break it up. Day 6 wasn't enough on a sea day, and day 8 was our disembarkation day. And I thought we were going hot again, but we're getting close to being hot again, I'm sure. So anyway, so I just put those two together. So sorry if it's a little bit mixed up in there. Debarkation day, great. Getting off the ship, got a taxi, boom, we went back. Seattle port is another issue. I don't know what they thought, but they only have one check-in open. They have 2. They only have 1 open. We waited in line for over. I'm so glad our flight was later on, and I do recommend. This is a prime case. Doesn't matter whether you get in at 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Try to be one of the last ones off. But always make sure your flight is after 12. Ours was like 2 something, and I'm so glad we did, because got there about 10, something like that, and we were in line for about an hour. And about 4.
It was longer.
It may have been. It may have been an hour and a half, but about an hour into it. I mean, I think you're right, hour and a half. About an hour into it, they finally opened the other one up. Terrible setup. So keep that in mind. Do not book an early flight out of there, because you may get off the ship great, and you may get to the airport great, but if they only have 1 open, you could be in serious trouble.
Yes.
I think that is it. Overall, I would do the Quantum of Seas again. Would you?
You didn't talk about the drink package.
Oh, thank you very much, babe. Again, we do not get the drink package. If you've been watching our videos for a while, you know this. We have last 3 cruises, I believe, we have not bought the drink package, and we have found out, and we're not big, huge drinkers, so keep that in mind. But we'll have our fair share. We don't get drunk, but we'll do have a fair share. And because we're Diamond, we get 4 free drink vouchers. So that's for everything. So Diamond Plus you get 5, and then Pinnacle you get 6. Excuse me. So 4 was plenty for us each. But overall, we didn't spend much at all. But before the free drinks, we would only spend enough for 1 person. You both have to get the drink package, the alcohol package. You have both to get it. One can't get it, and the other one don't. You both have to buy it. But there's a round of that. Say you're not a drinker, but your spouse is, or whoever you go with, tell them that you don't drink. You'll still have to buy like a refreshment package, but you can only do that over the phone. You cannot do through the website. They will not do it. So we probably spent about $200, I think it was, in drinks for the whole trip.
Right.
So if you're really port heavy, it may not be worth it. So we left 4 ports, so we were on the ship more than we were, or off the ship more than not. So it might not be worth it. So again, it depends on how much you drink, right?
Exactly. Well, even if you drink a lot, I still don't think it's worth the money. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, you really drink, especially if it's just a beer drinker. Beers are I don't know what they cost. We don't drink beer, but they're $8 or so. So imagine paying $60-some a person when it's on sale. You have to at least drink 9 beers a day. And if you're in the port, and what came with us is that we felt we were forced to drink it. And that was not the case. So anyway, that's it for the drink package. That was it. So anything else we need to say that we didn't mention?
I don't think so.
If we did, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Listen, give us a thumbs up and all that. By the way, I didn't tell you that we finally got 275 followers.
Ooh.
So we're getting there little by little. If you didn't know, before we used to be daily vloggers. We vlogged every day, So we stopped that years ago, and we didn't do anything for a while. And we decided, you know what? When we go on these adventures, whether it's cruising or whether we go to Pigeon Forge or whatever we ever do, so we do have another cruise coming up in October.
Halloween.
We'll be on a Halloween cruise. Now, it's the same Vision of the Seas out of Baltimore, no flight. I'm not sure how much I'll be vlogging. The ports will be different. Two of the ports will be different. So I'll vlog those, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to vlog because you've pretty much seen it all. If you do want me to vlog that, because the ship has gone through dry dock since then.
Well, I think you should anyway, just be able to
We'll
tell
see.
the difference.
We'll see. I'm not sure if the sea days will be, because there's plenty to do on sea days. We found that out. We played bingo. We did a lot of stuff that we normally wouldn't do. We went to all these different trivia things, and so there's plenty to do on sea days too. So especially when it's cloudy or raining, or cold. So there's enough to do. So, but we'll see how that goes in October. And then next year we have planned, we're supposed to go with my son and his wife and their family to Disney World in May, supposedly. So we'll vlog that, so it won't be cruising. And then we have another cruise in the end of next year. So we're going to take a couple days off. We're going to go to the beach, our own beach in Maryland, Ocean City. So I may do some shorts videos on that, but probably no vlogging for that. So I think that's about it, right?
That's it.
So if you can, give us a thumbs up, a like, all that. That helps. If you haven't subscribed, I'm pleased that you do. All right? So until next time.
Oh, here comes Tucker.
Our dog, our friendly dog. There he is.
Hey, Tucker. Oh, boy, please.
Well, we will see you guys.